Is it just me, or does the world seem as if it's losing its color? There's even been images of this taken in 2021 compared to 2023. Who remembers seeing the sun as a yellow ball of energy? Now we just have this white light. Like, what are they doing? Personally, I think this is the result of weather manipulation, geoengineering, EMF towers, and pollution. As a child, I remember sitting in nature and you would be covered in insects. Now, when you go into nature, you hardly see any. Let me know if you can relate in the comments. The Egyptian gods never existed. They symbolize the different body parts of your body. Anubis represents the tongue. He's a dog with the barking because the power of life and death is in the tongue. Falcon of Horus is the inner brainstem. Osiris, the god of death and the underworld. He represents the reptilian brain, hence why he's green and has reptiles next to him. The reptilian brain is when our consciousness exists in death because we don't think. Horus with the circle on his head represents the limbic system in the brain. Amun-Ra is the hippocampus in the brain. Ra is where we get RAM. Computer has a RAM for memory, and the hippocampus in the brain is all to do with memory. This is the Lamb of God. Thoth, the god of wisdom, the one who preserves the ancient wisdom. Ibis bird is the sternum, which is the chest, which contains the treasure, which is our soul, our heart. Our heart contains the sacred knowledge. Sternum protects the heart, the treasure. He preserves the wisdom. The Ankh is the portal into the physical world, the uterus. The Bible even tells you that animals are deeply symbolic. Job 12:7. Ask the beasts of the field and they will teach you, the birds of heaven and they will tell you. Because each animal represents a part of the human experience. Snakes represent the wave of energy. The Egyptians saw each body part had a specific role in the human experience. And these parts of our body are very sacred. If you want to learn more, then read the Book of Wisdom, Volume 2. How to enter a meditative state instantly. Get present. Bring yourself into the moment by repeating affirmations. I am here right now. Nothing else matters. Say this for 5 minutes to anchor your awareness. 2. Shift your focus. Direct your attention to the back of the brain or your breath. The back of the brain does not think.
It's hanging around.
So this quiets the mind, allowing your consciousness to expand beyond the clouds of thought and connect with your true self. 3. Breathe with intention. Inhale deeply through the nose, filling your lungs completely. As you exhale, let your breath out slower than you took it in. Do this for 15 or 30 minutes and you'll naturally enter a meditative state. Never breathe through your mouth. This is for emergencies only, and this is what dogs do. Freemasons are satanic according to Christians, yet King James, who commissioned the Bible, was a Freemason. He even wrote a book on demonology, what Christians call witchcraft. So they're believing a book which was written by a Freemason. We live in a scripted reality. The Bible has been altered to match the events playing out today, making it seem like a divine prophecy when it's actually a long-term plan. Revelation, it's not unfolding naturally, it was scripted by those in power. They've been following the plan for generations. So the question is, are you following the script or seeing through the illusion? Your soul is trapped in the physical dimension if you can't imagine. Imagination is not physical. You can't touch it, it's not made of atoms. It exists in a higher dimension of consciousness. Everything starts in the imagination before it becomes a physical reality. For example, Diddy's house. The design was in someone's vision, mental screen before it was a physical reality. People think that their third eye is open because they feel energy and now they're awake. That's not it. The third eye is your inner screen. If you can't vividly picture a red apple in your mind, you're cut off from the fourth dimension. Activating the third eye means unlocking what Freemasons call the spirit vision. Freemasons know this. They call it the astral plane. Don't you think it's crazy how if you use your imagination nowadays, people say, oh, you're just using your imagination, and they call you crazy? Everything in this dimension was pulled out of the fourth dimension, the imagination. A vision first, then the physical world was just the effect. If you want to reconnect to the fourth dimension, comment ebook and I'll send you a free guide on how to do so. Why is it the ancients were so obsessed with these mythical creatures? A man, an eagle, a bull, and a lion. This is the ancient Sumerians. A man, an eagle, a bull, and a lion. Even ancient Christians are seen with the same symbolism. We even see this on the tarot card as well. The lion is Leo, the man is Aquarius, the eagle an old symbol for Scorpio, and the bull is Taurus. In esoteric teachings, they teach you that you have 4 bodies, not one. You have a physical body, an emotional body, a spiritual body, and a mental body. Taurus is an earth sign, which is the physical body. Leo is a fire sign, which is the spirit. Scorpio is a water sign, which is the emotion. Aquarius is an air sign, which is the mind. These ancient creatures were not real, they're symbolic. And they're showing you the 4 bodies of the soul. Our soul is incarnated into these 4 separate bodies. Hence why Jesus has the 4 Gospels. This mythical creature is not a mythical creature, but a symbol of your soul. The mental body, the emotional body, the physical body, and the spiritual body. The bull, the ox, the man, and the lion, all in one creature, which is the soul incarnated into the 4 bodies. This is why the earth symbol is a cross and with the 4 sections and a circle. I think this is going to change how we see ancient civilizations. They knew the sacred science of the soul. Did you know the 7 deadly sins are 7 blocked chakras? And a sin is not an action. You have an etheric energy body. The emotions are energy in motion. If you feel any of these emotions, you waste the etheric life force that's feeding your body. These emotions can quite literally aid you because your body's being fed by this life force. Sin is not an action, but a force that you cultivate within yourself that disrupts the life force within you. Now, I'm not saying that you go out and work on these chakras. These chakras are a result of your own mind. If you gain mastery over your mind, your emotions will fall in place. Work on removing these things from your mind. Thoughts create emotions and emotions create actions. One last thing, the church is scamming you. Sin is not an action. The devil is not a real character. These things are all inside of you. Allegories and myths to represent aspects of your psyche. Symbolism Masterclass is now available, but it's closing soon. I've noticed something a bit strange about these LA fires everyone's been tagging me in. The first weird thing that I noticed is that insurance companies dropped fire coverage 3 months before the fire started. And many people have reported electrical wires from the power grid causing these fires. And of course, the water supply has been cut off. And don't you think it's a bit weird in this picture that all of the trees stay standing but the houses aren't? Of course, this is for educational purposes only and I'm not claiming anything. And then we go to Google and type in 2028 Smart LA City. What a coincidence they want to build a smart city in LA. And of course, it's a lot easier to build a whole city if there's no buildings there. Of course, this is just for educational purposes only, and I hope everyone is safe over there. Thank you. This sign is not the devil horns. It's the moon crescent. Moon is mood, which is emotion. The moon crescent on top of the head symbolizes emotion ruling over our mind, our body, our life. Devil is red because the red is the lowest vibrational color. And this is you when you are operating your life in your animal nature. The devil is the ground animal, the lower self. The bird is the angel, which is the higher self. See the man standing on the moon. This represents conquering the emotion and they no longer govern your life. Your emotions change all the time and this is symbolized as the moon phases. Money rules your emotions and this is why money has moon within it. A demon is actually your emotions. God and the devil exist within yourself. It's a battle between your higher mind and lower mind, between the 5 senses and your mind, your consciousness. Religion has externalized the truth, so they keep you in your animal nature. Did you know your heart is not actually a pump? The heart is in the shape of a chestahedron, a 7-sided shape where all of the surface areas are the same. Placing a chestahedron in water creates a vortex in the water, and your heart tissues is in a vortex spiral. Your heart is actually one muscle, but wrapped in a spiraling vortex form. This is because your heart is a vortex energy generator. Blood enters the heart and creates a vortex spiral inside of the heart. Your heart turns water in the blood into plasma, the 4th state of water, which they'll never tell you about. Plasma makes up approximately 55% of your blood. The earth is electromagnetic. The reason why heart rearranged as earth is because the heart takes the electromagnetic energy of the earth and turns this into plasma in the blood to run the physical body. Your heart is directly connected to the universe, to the electromagnetic energy of the earth. This is why we always see Jesus pointing at his heart. Your heart is inside of the chest. This is where the treasure is, inside of the heart. Your heart contains 40,000 neurons, which is the exact same cells in your brain. The heart is the emotional brain which gives you guidance. It tells you what is right and what is wrong. This is why we say follow your heart. Why is it the ancients always wore silver? This is gonna blow your mind. Your brain and your body is a bioelectric system. Your body is basically a technological machine which serves as an interface that allows consciousness to interact with the 3D world. Your body's flow of ions and electrons helps to ensure that your body's bioelectric machinery operates harmoniously and supports vital functions, which is why the ancients wore silver and precious metals, because they enhance the flow of ions and electrons, which can enhance the flow of electricity within your body, making your brain to process information quicker. You are an electromagnetic machine. The human body is a battery. This is why we have to charge ourselves constantly with energy. Silver is said to be one of the best energy conductors. Silver has the ability to minimize electrical resistance, which improves cellular communication and energy flow. This is the original reason why humans used to wear jewelry, not to enhance our looks, but to enhance the functions of our electrical bodies. If you have neck, wrist, or ankle pain, you would wear a specific metal around this area. Satan does not exist. Mark of the beast is 3 sixes. 3 represents the 3 aspects of consciousness: thought, emotion, action. Cubes have 6 sides: up, down, left, right, backwards, forwards. 6 represents the physical world. 666 is you, when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are all going towards your physical world, cutting off your spirituality, turning you into the beast, turning the pentagram upside down, placing spirit on the very bottom. Satanists do not worship Satan, worship the material world and what it has to offer. They're actually worshipping their physical self. Did you know your city has its own spirit? Keep scrolling if you don't have an open mind. Every physical object has a spiritual light body. You have a physical body and you have a spiritual light body that you use to dream. This is what we call the astral plane. It's the dimension you use when you imagine something. The thoughts, the beliefs, the traumas of one specific city manifests itself as an energy inside the astral plane. The thoughts and the emotions of the collective consciousness in this city manifests as a spiritual entity in the astral plane. If you move to this city, that energy will be impressed onto you. This is why the people who move to Dubai become more wealthy, because everyone mentally knows Dubai for wealth and money, which means that is an energy being impressed upon that city. Think of a place that you visited. What does it make you feel like? That's the spirit of that place. Personally, I don't think cities are a natural thing and we shouldn't all be compressed into these places, because the collective consciousness holds a power over you. Code Spring 30 ends soon.
That's something you'll get a lot of hate for if you say it out loud.
Holy Spirit is not what you think. Spirit is a spiraling electromagnetic field around your body. This field can either be weak or strong. Your mental and emotional state defines your aura. Love, authenticity, and gratitude creates a strong aura, which gives you the Holy Spirit, or putting on the full armor of God in Ephesians. Because Ephesians tells you that the struggle is not against flesh and blood. Therefore, the armor of God is not a physical armor. It's a spiritual, energetic aura around your body. A strong electromagnetic aura will defend you from infections and negative energy. The heart is the inner intelligence that tells you what is good and evil. When you do something evil, you feel an inner conscience within your heart that you're doing something wrong. Every time you do something against the heart's laws, you are weakening this field, which then makes you more susceptible to disease and negative energy. In order for you to gain the Holy Spirit, you must have love, authenticity, gratitude, and happiness within your heart. And you must not break the rules inside of the heart. And this is how you put on the armor of God or gain the Holy Spirit. The Anunnaki never existed. They symbolize incarnation. Now let's break this down. Anu was the divine god of the sky. Ki was the goddess of the earth. The sky god Anu married the goddess of the earth, Ki. Together, they gave birth to the Anunnaki. Anu represents the sky, which is your consciousness, spirit. Ki represents earth, matter, your physical body. Your spirit incarnated into matter. Now you are the Anunnaki. Divine spirit manifested in a physical body. Even the Freemasons show you this with the circle and the square, spirit and matter. You're probably thinking, why did the ancients secretly code their scriptures? It's because they wanted you to use the right hemisphere of your brain. People get trapped in reading the Bible and ancient texts with the left hemisphere, logical and historical. All of their texts were made for the right hemisphere, which is all to do with metaphors, decoding, and reading between the lines. This way, they wouldn't just give us these truths. We had to figure them out so that we became more intelligent. If you want to learn more, read the Book of Wisdom, Volume 2. Take a look at this masterpiece. This is 1,900 years old, containing a hologram effect. Proof that we were far more advanced than what we are led to believe in our history. Freemasons use this symbol, which is the same symbol for Apple Store, and X when it's mirrored. This symbol is a compass on top and a square below. The square creates a square which has beginning and an end. The compass creates a circle which has no beginning and no end. If the compass is the circle, which means spirit, and square is the square, which is matter, this symbolizes spirit over matter, the compass over the square. Leonardo da Vinci was showing you that you are a spiritual being in a material body. You are an individual. You have a physical body and a non-physical body. The voice in your head and the emotions you feel are eternal, but your physical body will die. The spiritual brain is the mind. The spiritual heart is the soul. The brain and heart are physical manifestations of the mind and soul. The aim is to climb the pyramid to higher consciousness, to your true spirit self, so that you can be spirit over matter and not matter over spirit. They show you these symbols in plain sight. These people are highly enlightened individuals. You will never have power if you don't have knowledge. Knowledge is the true currency of this life. Why is it the Egyptians are obsessed with snakes? They've hidden this knowledge from you. Snakes shed their skin to remove old layers. They represent transformation. Kundalini is symbolized with snakes because you're transforming sexual energy to the brain. That's why the medical symbol uses a snake, because they transform your health back to healthy. Every ancient culture and religion uses snakes. They represent the ancient religion of ascension, transforming from a physical being to a spiritual being, low frequency to high frequency. These foods keep you in low frequency, hence why they're all red, orange, and yellow for the lower 3 chakras. Snakes represent the ancient religion of mental or spiritual alchemy, turning lead into gold. Lead ruled by Saturn, physical matter. Gold ruled by the sun, enlightenment. Turning low-level desire and pleasure into wisdom, intuition, and expression, raising your thoughts and consciousness out of the lower half of the body to the head. They've hidden the ancient religion of the snake to make you worship a god outside of yourself. Now they give you Allah and Jesus, which are in essence demons in the astral planes. Read the caption to understand that. If you want to learn symbolism, the masterclass is now available. The sun is electric, the moon is magnetic. The sun is positively charged, giving you energy. The moon is negatively charged, taking away your energy. The sun and moon are the yin and yang moving around the magnetic North Pole. It's called the North Pole because it's a pole of electromagnetic energy. Above the North Pole is Polaris, the center star. The 7 planets are the 7 days of creation. Monday for the moon, Sunday for the sun, Saturday for Saturn, Thursday for Thor, which is the god of Jupiter. Sky is a giant clock. Stars tell you the month of the year. The moon tells you the day of the month. The sun tells you the time of the day. They want you to think you're on a random ball in space. Stars are not physical. Earth, water, air, fire, ether. Ether is the gateway between the physical and the spiritual realm. Daytime, you're in your physical body. When you dream, you're in your astral body. Now you know why the ancients always show you paintings of people flying in the sky. Because this is all symbolic of people in the astral plane, in the higher dimensions above our head. They told you the planets were physical to hide these higher dimensions that you have access to. You do not see into reality. The eyes are black holes. They suck in the light in the images produced at the back of the brain called the visual cortex. This is because the universe is a mental projection, and it's the #1 law in the Kabbalion that all is mind, the universe is mental. You never actually feel the external world. When you touch something, this is your brain's interpretation of electrical signals on your nervous system. You touch, taste, smell, hear, and see with your brain. You're not in the world. The world is being simulated from the brain and the body. It's a piece of technology. Your body is the earth. The sun is your soul. The moon represents your mind. You are the universal mind, the observer behind your thoughts, emotions, and senses. There is only one of us in the universe, and that is God. The one consciousness is what gives life to every single living life form. Forest is for rest. You are electromagnetic. Disease shows in your energy field before it shows up in your physical body. Illness vibrates on a low frequency. If you are low frequency with the food and the thoughts and emotions you feel, your energy will then match the low frequency where illness exists. But if you raise your vibration of your energy, positive thoughts, good emotions, and healthy food, you will not vibrate on the same frequency as illness. You will never become sick. You are an energetic being. Everything exists as a vibration. Trees emit high energy. Forest is for rest because it neutralizes and balances your energy. Plus, looking at all the different color spectrums in nature is very healing for your eyes. Everything is made lifeless for a reason. Lower your frequency and dull your mind. You're stuck within the cage, the rib cage. You're in a prison cell because you're made out of cells. You are hexed in physical matter. This is the X, the hex. The hexagram's a cube unfolded is the cross. You need to escape the physical world, the three-dimensional matrix, which is the world of Satan, because Satan gives you the mark of the beast, the physical body, the 666 carbon suit, and then blinds your mind. Your mind is completely separate from the physical world. Through physical pleasures and lack of understanding of yourself, you think your mind is part of your physical body, when in reality they are two separate things. Your mind is completely separate from your physical body. The physical world is a dimension within your mind. Men means mind, mental. Mind in Latin means mens. In order to escape the three-dimensional physical world, you have to fully detach your mind from your body. Meditation is key in transcending the 3D world and traveling the depths of your mind. Mind and matter is one. They are different dimensions within your mind. When you dream, your mind creates matter. This is why mind and matter are one. The cube is the shape that gives rise to physical matter. The link is in my bio for the Book of Wisdom, paperback and PDF. Placing your hands together completes the electrical circuit of your body. Your hands are manifestations of your brain hemispheres. The left hand is the right brain, the creative one. The right hand is the left brain, the logical one. Tate uses these mudras as a technique to merge the brain hemispheres, to merge logic with creativity. Most people are trapped in their logical mind because society programs you that way. You're taught to use your right hand in writing to strengthen the left hemisphere, trapping you in logic, dulling creativity. Christianity, nuns are forced to write with their right hand to strengthen the left hemisphere. Hence why it's called writing. Sounds like the right, because they need you using the right side of your body to keep you in logic. Look at prayer. We place our hands together in prayer. This stems from an ancient form of meditation of placing the hands together to sync the brain hemispheres, to unlock consciousness. Because when the brain hemispheres work as one electrical system, consciousness expands. The mind becomes unified. Join my Telegram in the bio. They tell you aliens built the pyramids, but history tells you slaves did. The truth is neither. Alien is A-lie-N. They don't exist, they're a lie. We can't even replicate these structures today. That means the builders knew something that we don't. This physical world is the lowest dimension there is. Everything is a shadow of the higher plane of consciousness. Every object you see first begun in the mental plane, the mind, as an idea. No, the mind is not your brain. It's a spiritual force behind all of creation. These pyramids, these cathedrals, they are physical manifestations of the ancient human mind, proof of a lost intelligence far beyond what we have today. They want you to think we were dumb back then. We were smarter. They hide the truth to keep you weak. The most important thing you can learn is that the universe is mental. The Symbolism Masterclass is now available. Smoking is witchcraft. Every plant has a spirit, a consciousness. Burning the plant releases the essence, the spirit of that plant. Inhaling the smoke is inhaling the spirit of that plant, which is infusing that consciousness with yours and making you become high. If you smoke tobacco, you're addicted to the spirit of tobacco. That spirit has control over your consciousness. Witchcraft is not evil. It can be used for good and bad. Smoking the devil's lettuce can be used for good and bad. You invoke the spirit of the plant. If you smoke lettuce with a bad mindset, you're invoking anxiety spirit. If you smoke with a positive, high vibrational mindset, you open your consciousness. You are the magician. You are the invoker invoker of the spirit. Smoking plants with no self-control will invoke the spirit to control you. If you're going to smoke lettuce, use it to meditate and access deep meditation, or use it in ritual to reprogram your subconscious. Whatever you do, never smoke on a full moon, and stop using it to escape reality. Use it to open up your consciousness or to reflect on your life and access deep thought. Doing it every day will just make you lazy and you'll get nowhere in life. The link is in my bio for the free Telegram for free content. Depression doesn't actually exist, and I'm going to prove it to you that you're actually choosing to become depressed, right? So what you need to understand is about depression is that depression is a part of the thinking mind. Now let me break this down for you so you can understand. You have a thinking mind, what we call the conscious mind. And inside this conscious mind, you have your name, your job, your reputation, your body, your trauma, your memories, your family, your interests, your bills. But what happens if you turn off that thinking mind? What is left? Well, you're left with you. You probably never thought about this. Who's the observator of this? Who's observing your thoughts? If you turn off your thoughts, you're no longer your name, your belief system, nothing. You're left with consciousness, you're left with the soul, and that's the true you, and that's what you need to connect with. You know that void that you have in your heart sometimes when you just feel horrible? It's because you're not doing what this is saying. We all have this feeling inside of us that tells us the right thing to do at all times. And if we do not connect with that, that is why we are depressed. That is the soul screaming out. So, my people, learn how to meditate if you have depression. I've been there, okay? And I promise you, depression does not exist. It's a choice. And when you learn to gain that off switch with your mind, you can turn depression off. Because depression is part of the thinking mind. You have to learn how to switch off the mind and control your thoughts. What is the meaning behind these Freemasonic symbols? First of all, we have the compass. This is the cherry on top. It's the most important one. First, we must understand these. First off, we have the left pillar, Jackin. Sometimes the sun on the top, sometimes the earth on the top. Earth or the sun represents matter, what you can visibly see. The right pillar with B, Boaz, with the stars or the moon on top. This represents what you cannot see. External physical world, internal world of consciousness. The inner and the outer are mirrors of each other. Your current life circumstances, a manifestation of every thought you thought in the past. It also represents polarity, male and female. The brain, intellect, masculine. The heart, emotion, feminine. A compass creates circles, feminine. The square creates lines, masculine. Make the most out of life and make great decisions. The intellect must be in sync with the emotion. Remember that time when your head told you something but your heart was telling you something else? They need to be in sync, which is the square and the compass together. But this represents all duality. We need to balance the inside world with the outside world. Don't get too attached to the external. Don't be overly spiritual. Balance spirit and matter. Balancing the brain with the heart. It represents balance in all areas of your consciousness. People ask why? What's the point? Because this is how you gain your personal power. You are a creator. You've been creating your whole life consciously or unknowingly. In order to create with efficiency, you must balance every aspect of the self. 13 is not unlucky. They made you scared. Jesus has 12 disciples. He is the 13th. 1 plus 3 is 4. You have a fourfold nature, a mind, spirit, emotion, and body. This is why he has 4 gospels. Mark shows Jesus as a spiritual teacher. John shows Jesus as an emotional creature, water into wine. Matthew shows Jesus as a mental body, where he's intellectual and communicative. And Luke shows Jesus as a human being, where he does physical things for other people. 13 represents human consciousness. They have demonized it. That's why the word sacred is scared rearranged. They made you scared of all the sacred symbols. Water is emotion, air is the mind, earth is the body, and fire is the spirit. The Bible is filled with metaphors, cryptograms, astrological codes, and numerological codes. Jesus never existed. He represents you. He represents God made flesh. You are an extension of God's consciousness. Watch this YouTube video to find out. The moon is your mind. You can use the moon to your advantage. A full moon is very powerful. There are more police calls on a full moon than any other day of the month, the moon. The moon enhances our psyche, our internal state. If you are angry and a full moon comes around, this will be enhanced. And you will become a monster, a moon star, or a lunatic. Lunar is the moon. On a full moon, you should be visualizing, thinking and feeling the desired reality you want, because your intent, thoughts and emotions are more powerful on a full moon. This is why if you type in witches, they're always next to a full moon, because this is the best time to cast a spell. 28-day cycle of the moon, 28-day cycle of the menstrual cycle. It's in direct correlation with the moon. The moon governs liquids in your body. Fasting on a full moon is also very powerful because the water in your body is being pulled by the moon. That's why the tides of the ocean follow the moon. 28-day cycle, this is a month, a month. 365 days divided by 28, which is 13. There are 13 monthly cycles. Where is the missing month? We do not know what year we are truly in, people. I think they did this to stop us being in sync with the monthly cycle. What do you guys think? Jesus never existed. Jesus symbolizes the sun with his 12 disciples, the 12 zodiac signs, 4 gospels for the 4 seasons of the sun. That's why he's called the risen savior, the light of the world, the Son of God. 7 days, 7 planets. They worship their God on Sunday because Jesus is the sun. Easter is actually called the Passover because this is when the sun passes the winter and enters Aries, when the sun springs things back into life, the summer. This is when they eat lamb, because lamb is Aries, the ram. The sun dies on the Southern Crux constellation, the Cross, every year on the 22nd of December. On the 25th of December, it is born again, every year, because it moves 1 degree northward, bringing back the sun to the northern hemisphere. Jesus, the Son, was born a virgin every year, and this is why we celebrate Christmas. Horus, the Egyptian sun god, 12 disciples, born on the 25th, dead for 3 days and resurrected, did miracles and born a virgin. Same with Mithra. Judas stabs Jesus in the back and betrays him. The constellation Scorpio is a J for Judas, and when the sun hits Scorpio, this means the sun is now entering the winter, meaning it's going to die and become dead. So it's betrayed by the Scorpio, the constellation J. Here's Jesus walking on water. It's the sun. You do not see into reality. Light enters the eyes and the image is produced in the visual cortex. The world you see around you is actually within you. You are consciousness experiencing the program being ran by the central nervous system and the brain. There are 2 major systems in the body. The tree of life, the cardiovascular system, giving life to the physical body. The tree of knowledge of good and evil, the nervous system. You do not experience the external world. You experience electrical impulses on your nervous system, which gives your mind, your consciousness, the knowledge of good and evil. You are the Temple of Solomon, the temple of the soul and the mon, the sun and the moon, the soul and the mind. The sun is the soul, the moon is the mind. This is why we say lunatic. Lunar is moon. And inside of your mind, you have a specific mood, which is moon. The soul system is within you. It's the 7 chakras, the 7 planets. The cycles of the sun being summer and winter happens within the body because you are a miniature world. In the summer, you feel better and you gain better ideas. In the winter, you feel less alive. I am you and you are me. It's a universe, a unite verse. Everything is one. We are all one consciousness, one mind, in separate physical bodies. The link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom. You are not the body, you're the invisible intelligence. If you shut your eyes, you can feel your awareness in the center of the brain. You refer to this being as I. The letter I and the number 1 is one line. Because there is only one, and we are all the one expressed in different bodies. The Egyptians knew this. This is the one giving out the Ankh to all the different life forms. This is why 1 is the only true number. Everything goes up in ones. You look with the 2 eyes, and you see with the inner eye your invisible intelligence. Because the inner eye gives you the perception of what you're looking at. Everything is neutral. Everything is one. It's your mind's perception that gives it a positive or negative charge. Me and you are the exact same consciousness. Why do you think the golden rule is to treat others like you want to be treated? We are all mind. Men means mind in Latin. Jesus was known as the fisher of men. He wasn't fishing men, he was fishing minds. Bright minds that are worthy of knowing the truth. God exists within the highest realm of your being, your mind. If you constantly listen to your God intelligence, which is always telling you the right thing to do, this is how to become closer to God. You need to stop living off the body's desire and turn to the higher self, the higher realms of your mind. The link is in my bio for the Book of Wisdom, paperback and PDF. The solar system is a soul system. We started in the stars, then we incarnated into the heart of the soul system, which rearranged spells Earth. You descended from spirit into matter. The soul luring system lures your soul deeper into matter, which are the lower three chakras. You are the mind and soul, not the physical body. If you die and your mind is still attached to these worldly physical things, you will want to reincarnate here. The body corresponds with the higher and the lower self. You need to get out of power, food, and you know what, into the higher chakras, so that your mind is not attached to the worldly things when you die from here. This is why they get you so addicted to clothes and all of these physical things. The fast food restaurants are red, orange, and yellow because they keep you here. You need to connect with your true divine self, which is inside of the pineal gland. This is the Holy Grail, your neck and head, because the Holy Grail out of the physical world and ascension is connecting with your true consciousness form. You need to be united, not divided. You need to turn the masculine and feminine energies into balance, because heaven has the word even in it. You have to become even because your consciousness has no gender. The devil is the deveil. You deveil yourself by having these mental addictions to the worldly things. The soul luring system is inside of you. You have to deveil yourself out of the 7 seals in the Bible. The 7 seals are the 7 chakras because they seal your true self. The link is in the bio for the Book of Wisdom. Jesus' death on a cross is metaphorical for us falling from the higher planes of consciousness into a material plane. We sacrificed all of the higher planes of consciousness only to experience the thin visible spectrum of light. This is the first dimension, the second dimension, and the third, length, height, and width. The cube is what gives birth to the material plane. So we are in the cube. This is up, down, front, back, left, and right. This is why the Jews wear the cube and the Mecca cube, and there are cubes all around the world. Cube unfolded is the cross, which is the Jesus cross, the body, because our consciousness died when it came here, because we suffered a loss of the higher planes of consciousness. The universe is created out of light. Low vibrating light turns into matter. High vibrating matter turns back into light. We are human. Hu means light. Man is manifested. We are light manifested into matter. The Bible says we're born into sin. Sin is sign, which is time, because we're born into a material plane where time exists. However, the elites worship the material world. They want to rule the material world and keep your mind stuck in third dimensional awareness. This is why they teach you this and evolution. And this is why they give you the false atom. They've trapped your mind in materialism because they've taught you that the universe is only physical. Reptilians do not exist. It is metaphorical for using the reptilian part of our brain. The 3 parts of the brain correspond with the 3 parts of the body. If you're operating your life out of your gut, you're in hell, which is the reptilian animal state. Osiris represents the reptilian brain. This is why he's green. Top half of the body is the higher self. The lower half of the body is the lower self. If you're operating your life out of these lower 3 centers, this is hell. Instead, you want to use the higher brain, the neocortex, where critical thinking and rationality takes place. This is why Neo from the Matrix is called Neo, because he awakens and uses his higher brain. The devil and the angel on your shoulder is an internal battle between your higher and lower self. The devil has goat horns, which is a ground animal. The angel has wings, which is a higher animal, which represents the higher self. Jesus and Satan, Horus and Set, the higher self and the lower self. Religion has externalized the truth so that you believe Jesus and Satan are outside of you. This is done so that you do not transmute all of the negative parts of yourself into positive and become the God. 13 is not unlucky. They made you scared. 13 adds up to 4. The number 4 is your fourfold nature: mental, emotional, etheric, and physical. 4 seasons of the yearly cycle. 4 gospels. The cross is the 4. Jesus has 12 disciples for the 12 zodiac signs. He is the 13th because it represents human consciousness. We are all the universe experiencing itself. We are all Christ. We are all God. The 12 zodiacs go around us because they are the energies that influence our mind, body, and spirit. 13 is not an evil number. The word sacred is scared because they want you scared of the sacred things so that you do not do your research. The Bible is filled with cryptograms, metaphors, allegories, and astrological codes. Jesus is not God. We should not worship God. We should become the God self, the best version of ourselves. No one is coming to save you. You have to save yourself. Sex is sacred energy exchange. S is the serpent. The most powerful emotion a human can feel is the sexual desire. Serpent symbolizes sexual energy, which are the two kundalini channels which go up from the base of the spine to the brain. Tree of knowledge of good and evil is the brain, the spine, the two hemispheres of the brain, masculine and feminine, and the serpent is the kundalini sexual energy. The serpent is tempting you to release your sacred energy, which is the forbidden fruit the serpent tempted Eve to eat. Resurrection of Jesus is metaphorical. Res meaning head, erection is sexual stimulation. The resurrection is raising the sexual energy from the base of the spine to the brain, the pineal gland. This then gives you the ability to use 100% of the brain. You can transmute this energy into critical thinking or awakening your third eye. We have all been sexually programmed since we were young because they are trying to reverse the genders. When a male releases, his estrogen levels go up. When a female releases, their testosterone goes up. Hence why the LGBT flag is the upside down colour spectrum. Red should be first, it's the lowest vibrational colour. Ancient mythology, there's always stories about killing the dragon or the serpents. This is symbolic for killing the lower nature of yourself because the serpent is always tempting you to release your sexual energy. It's an internal battle. Physical versions of the Book of Wisdom are now available. The link is in the bio to get. These CIA documents reveal that thought waves can become a physical particle. Thoughts manipulate your universal hologram, which is your electromagnetic field. This proves that we are in a three-dimensional construct, which is a holographic world, and your thoughts and emotions manipulate this three-dimensional construct. You literally create your own reality based off your thoughts. You are an invisible consciousness, which is controlling this physical avatar, which manipulates the holographic construct of the external world through your thoughts and emotions. The things you own in life, the friends you have, are all reflections of your past thoughts. You are a result of your thoughts. The elites know this knowledge, and this is why they keep you on the lowest vibration possible so that you manifest the worst possible reality. This is why they're called a government. Ment means mind. They govern your mind through information. Your information is your perception, and your perception is your reality. The word of the day is, people, you can get anything you want in this life just by working and changing your thoughts. When you change your thoughts, further down the line, your external world will change because your external world mirrors your thoughts. We are literally in a holographic game, people. Words are secretly encoded and they cast spells on your subconscious mind because your subconscious mind takes everything you say as diet has the word die because the food they tell you to eat nowadays makes you sick. Meat has the word eat, which is a subconscious spell for you to consume blood and flesh because consuming this food keeps you stuck in third dimensional awareness in the lowest state of consciousness. Veganism is an anagram for saving me because when you stop consuming flesh, your consciousness can raise past the 3D construct. Animals are easily programmed and tamed like a pet, and this is why they want you to consume it because you are what you eat. Your cells every 90 days turn into the food that you've consumed. This is why the population is aging at a rapid rate because the food that we are consuming is dead. When we eat electrical live foods, we age less. Slaughter has the word laughter because they want you to laugh at the slaughtering of animals. Words create perception, and the food industry utilize more neutral words to create a better perception in your mind. Instead of saying beef flesh, they say beef mince. Or instead of saying a chicken fetus, they say egg. Or rotten cheese is milk. You descended from spirit to matter. Now you need to climb the stairway to heaven, which is your spine, and go from matter to spirit. The chakras are not what you think. They are 7 vortexes which our consciousness feeds energy into our physical body. You have a mental, astral, etheric, and physical body. They exist within the etheric plane, which binds your spirit to your physical form. Hence why in the Bible they are known as the 7 seals. It states the Lamb is worthy of opening the 7th seal, because the Lamb is Aries, and Aries rules the head region to open the 7th seal, the 7th chakra. They're called the 7 seals because they seal your invisible consciousness. Heaven is even. This is why Jesus is pointed at the heart chakra, which is the balance point. When your vortexes are balanced, you have a deeper connection with your universal intelligence. Your higher self will have an easier job manifesting itself throughout the body. The world is stuck in the lower 3 energy centers, lust, food, and power. Instead, we want to aim to use the higher parts of the body, expression, intuition, and wisdom. Veganism rearranged is saving me because consuming electrical foods feeds your spirit, which is your spiral, your spiraling electromagnetic field, because you're a biological battery, hence why you get charged in a court. Every cell in your body every 90 days transforms into the foods that you've been eating. Consumption of rotten flesh has no electromagnetism behind it. The fruit is electric and full of light. Lions' intestines are shorter. Our teeth are not made to rip open flesh. Meat-eating animals only live up to 15 years. Vegan animals live up to 40 years. Why do you think the Bible talks about humans living over 500 years? All of the geniuses of the past were all vegan. Humans possess a trichromatic vision, which means we are pretty much attracted to seek colours naturally, because our brains are wired to seek colourful food. Each animal and every being has specific qualities in its DNA. For example, bears are ferocious and strong. Camels have the ability to walk thousands of miles, and cats are majestic and sneaky. When you eat these animals, you are eating the virtues of that animal. You literally are what you eat. Meat is flesh, cheese is rotten milk, and eggs are fetuses. These terms have been created to conceal the true nature of what you are actually consuming. Stop eating when the sun is setting. When you chew, chew until it becomes a liquid. Your digestive system can't digest chunks of food. The sun powers your digestive system and your body. When the sun is not present and you eat something, this is going to cause problems within your digestive system. Stop mixing foods. Mixing animal flesh with potato and bread will cause the food to solidify within your stomach, leading to constipation and the birth of parasites within your body. Acne is undigested food coming through your skin. The digestive system cannot digest all of the toxins, so it has to find a way out, and it comes through the skin. Your cells are electric, your brain is electric, your central nervous system is electric, and you are electromagnetic. The body runs off electricity. It is an electrical machine. Therefore, your body and your cells needs to be charged by electric food, which is grown under the electric sun. Sun's rays crystallize within the food that is grown underneath the sun. This is why you can see the glowing aura of an apple compared to a slice of flesh. This is dead. You do not want dead things within your body. It will not charge you. Your teeth are not made to rip open flesh. Veganism rearranged is saving me. And your intestines are not like a lion's or a dog's. All the legends in the past knew this, and this is why they were all vegan. The number one mistake that you make is that you think they wear jewelry just because they are rich. Firstly, the crowns are made out of gold and other gemstones like crystals, which all contribute to amplifying the frequency of your energetic field. Usually they wear purple to symbolize royalty. They wear this on the head because the head is connected to your crown chakra, your highest state of consciousness, which is purple. A lot of ancient cultures used to be decked out in jewelry. They used to hold canes with metal on the bottom and the top because the earth produces magnetic energy, and by grounding, you are actually amplifying your field. When the body is producing a high frequency because of the amplified field, they would be able to sync up with a higher consciousness. This is why you should fill your spaces with precious metals and crystals, because the atoms that create these metals and gemstones are resonating on a high frequency. I have a few of these orgonite technology necklaces left. If you want one, the link is in the bio. My new favorite thing to do is to show you how powerful you are. We are intelligently designed. The eyes contain 137 million cells within 1 square inch in the retina. To put this into perspective, this is 1 million dots and this is 1 square inch. And this is your retina. Your retina consists of 137 million cells. They say this is because of evolution, which is just another theory created by Charles Darwin, a Freemason. Everything physical you see comes from the invisible. Everything you see in the physical plane was manifested by the mind. The phone that you are holding was an idea in someone's mind before they manifested it physically. So therefore, the whole physical world that you see exists within the mind of God. Essentially, we are all existing in the mind of God, and we are all God fractured into separate bodies. This is why Michelangelo painted God within the brain, because the pineal gland is the connection to the mind, which is the divine or God. And one more thing before you go. If you don't believe in God, then you are delusional, because this painting was painted by a painter. Therefore, this physical world was manifested from the mind of God, and we are a microcosm of that mind, and we can use our minds to create things within God's creation. We are made in His image. We are a fracture. If you believe in evolution and know God, debate me. Heaven and hell are states of consciousness. 144,000 faithful Christians will go to heaven. This is nothing but a frequency to go from the root chakra to the crown. When you achieve this frequency, you gain the armor of God, which is the strong electromagnetic field to protect you. Raising the frequency of this field is what allows you to pass the veils from the physical into the higher realms of consciousness. Devil is de-veil, because doing evil, doing the devil, lowers your state of consciousness. The resurrection of Christ is nothing but a metaphor for rising the erection, rising your sexual energy up to the head. The devil is red because it represents the lowest frequency, which is the root chakra. Keeping your emotions in balance and your thoughts and actions aligned with the divine mind, the higher self, this is how you reach the highest states. By doing this, you gain the Holy Spirit, your spiraling electromagnetic field. Even the food that we are consuming is keeping our bodies, minds, and spirits stuck in the lower states of consciousness, third dimensional awareness. To reach these higher states, you have to go from acid to alkaline, Saturn to the sun, Satan to Christ. You have to consume the food that contains the high amounts of electricity and energy. This book provides you with all of the syncretisms between science and religion, and everything you need to know in one book. Stop listening to music. It's bad because it reprograms your subconscious mind by putting you in a hypnotic state. You want to dance or do something when you listen to music because it puts you in hypnosis. You remember the lyrics so vividly because it rewrites your subconscious mind. Every word they are saying in the song is molding and shaping your mind in some form or way. Why do you think you want to hurt someone when you listen to drill music, or want to dance hard when you listen to techno? When you listen to music, you literally cannot think because it's putting you in hypnosis. Spotify and Apple Music are all tuned to 440 Hz, which shuts down the right hemisphere of your brain because they do not want you thinking creatively or intuitionally. Music creates thought loops within your mind. This is why you feel nostalgia when you listen to an old song you used to listen when you were a child. The repetitive music and beats creates thought loops in your mind. In nature, nothing is repeating. Everything is constantly transforming. It's the same with your mind. Your mind should be constantly transforming to bigger and better things. Listen to music in 432 Hz or 528 Hz and make sure it has no demonic lyrics and no repetitive. The toroidal field is a multi-dimensional energy pattern. It is a universal blueprint in which all energy and matter manifests. It can be visualized as a donut-shaped configuration where energy is in a continuous loop. The central axis in which the energy goes in and then back out is called the hyperboloid. And this corresponds with our spines. Our spines are also a hyperboloid for this electromagnetic torus field. The flow of energy within our torus field and our body follows the same principles that govern the larger universal patterns. Thoughts and emotions are also forms of energy which manifest through our electromagnetic torus field. A stone thrown into water will create ripples, which will create incandescent circles which travel outward. This is the two-dimensional representation of how we visualize sound waves. In three-dimensional space, sound waves propagate in all directions, which creates a spherical wave front. When these sound waves expand, they create the torus field shape. When we speak, we create vibrational waves which expand in all directions into torus fields. And this is why talking is called torque, torus fields. The words we say have an effect on other people's fields and your fields itself, affecting reality in all directions. Snakes and ladders is truth in plain sight. Your spine is the ladder and the kundalini is the snake. The snake in the tree of knowledge of good and evil is also the kundalini in the central nervous system, the spine up to the brain. The serpent is always tempting you to release your sexual energy, because sexual energy is the most powerful and potent emotion the human can feel. So when you overcome it, you are fighting the snake. And when you retain this energy, you can then resurrect, which means rise erection. Raising the erection to the brain to illuminate the pineal gland. Why do you think the word sex has the S in it, which is the serpent, the sexual essence? If you release your fluids all the time, you will become mineral deficient. Your sexual energy is the most powerful and potent energy within your body. It is your soul force. Even if you're not transmuting this energy into Kundalini, you can transmute it into critical thinking or other aspects of your life. Watching them dirty websites and masturbating all the time will destroy your mental health, because in your mind you are literally that person in the corner of a room watching two people have pleasure. What you do in your alone time will manifest into light into other aspects of your life. This is why you will not be confident, you will not radiate, because you know what you are doing on a deep level on your own, and you know it's disgusting. Spirituality is a psyop, people. It's all about your mind. It's about transmuting all the negative aspects of your mind into positive. When you change your mind, you change your body, your life, and your spirit. Porn drains your sexual energy, which is your orange chakra, and this is why it's orange. Sexual energy takes over the mind and influences your body. This is why it's the most potent emotion the human can feel. It is symbolized as the serpent tempting you to eat the fruit, because it's tempting you to release your sacred fluids. Sexual transmutation is transmuting the sexual energy into other aspects of your life. It can either be Kundalini, critical thinking, or even the jinn. The spine has two coils wrapped around it, which is the energy channels for your Kundalini to go up to the brain. The resurrection of Christ is nothing but a metaphor for rise erection, rising your erection sexual energy to the pineal gland to activate 100% of our brains, to activate Christ consciousness. This is known as being born again and seeing the kingdom of God in John 3:3 for the 33 vertebrae on your spine. Your sexual fluids have a strong energy behind them, and this energy can create a whole new human being. So imagine how powerful that is if you retained it. We become mentally, physically, and spiritually stronger by holding this fluid. This is why it's free, because it makes you weak. You are the product. Females represent magnetism. This is why they are curvy and attractive. Males represent electricity, which is the action-taking force. This is because everything is created out of electromagnetism. This is the real atom. This field spirals while coming inwards and outwards. The out force is the male, which is the red, and the in force is the female. This creates red shift, the out force, the in force blue shift. This is why everything is red and blue. Roses are red, violets are blue. God, Allah, Elohim are all names for the Supreme Being. They all add up for 26. 26 is 8. 8 is the Taurus field. God is light. God is energy. Everything is God. We are all God. 0 and 1, the binary code of all creation. 0, the cosmic womb. 1 is the action-taking force. Male and female comes from the Taurus field. 0 and 1. The phi symbol is the Taurus field. Physical is the phi cycle, the cycle of the atom, which is a Taurus field. Day and night, we live in cycles. If you open your eyes, you will see magnetism in every aspect of creation. Everything physically is electric. Everything runs off electricity. Without electricity, your body couldn't move and the world wouldn't exist. Your brain is an electrical computer, and it is the tree of knowledge of good and evil. There is no external world. Your consciousness is experiencing a program being ran by the brain and central nervous system. When you touch something, this is your brain's interpretation of the central nervous system's electrical impulses. The vision that you see is produced in the visual cortex in your brain. It's because the universe is a mental projection. The mind is personified as the Garden of Eden in the Bible. And in the Garden of Eden, there are the two trees. The tree of life, which is the cardiovascular system, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the central nervous system. This gives your body the life. This gives you the knowledge of good and evil. The power symbol is the brain and spine, because the brain is what runs this simulation to your consciousness. It's a central processing computer. This is why the ancients personified God inside of the brain, touching Adam. Adam means the body. God is your consciousness. This is why your head is called a temple. The temple. Tem is a place of worship. El is an ancient Canaanite name for God. This is why Jesus says the kingdom of God is within you. This is why the Bible teaches not to love this world, and this world is not the true world, because heaven is the true reality, which is the reality of your mind. That's the true realm. The word Lucifer also means the bright star. He fell from heaven. Now the star is your 5-pointed star, which represents you, your 5 senses. So when you let your five senses rule over your mind and your consciousness, this is when you fall from heaven. There is no external world. The Bible is written in metaphors, and everything is internal. Everything exists within your mind. There is no true. Your phone is a digital footprint of your mind. iPhone, you refer to yourself as I, which is the eye of consciousness, is being manifested digitally into your phone. That's why Siri rearranged is Iris, and this is your iris. Every text you send, every call that you speak, and every search that you do is being stored and being fed into an artificial consciousness called AI. Everyone in the world has manifested their invisible minds into a carbon footprint, which is now created an artificial consciousness which is running off the algorithms that we have created. The more data we feed into these devices, the more advanced this artificial consciousness will come and rule humanity. The more data we feed into these devices, the more advanced this artificial consciousness will come and rule humanity. If something is free, you are the product. They all have two O's because they're watching you, they're collecting your data. Make sure to join my Telegram, link is in my bio. Your phone takes an infrared photo of you every 3 to 5 seconds. Your phone screens, TV screens, and computer screens all give off blue light, which creates permanent retina damage, which cannot be reversed. And this is why I use anti-blue light glasses whenever I use technology, to save my eyes and to save your brain, because whatever you see affects your whole body. The link's in my bio if you want to get these. They come in a nice little case. You're cursing yourself if you do this. It's the Antichrist cross, which represents the brain and the heart and cutting the connection. The reason why this is bad is because the heart and the brain are directly connected. The cranial brain does the thinking, but every thought you think creates an emotion felt in the heart. In fact, the heart has its own neural network of 40,000 specialized cells, which are the same ones in your brain. So the heart is your second brain. However, the cranial brain has two hemispheres, therefore thinking with it can cause confusion and dualism. The heart has an intelligence of its own, just like the brain. However, it's a singular organ. It does not have two hemispheres. So when we say follow your heart, this is a deep meaning because the heart has an intelligence of its own which is guiding you. And this is why Jesus is always pointing at the heart. In Freemasonry, the heart is symbolized as the book because the heart intelligence is what you need to read to guide you through this life experience. The heart is what tells you what is right and what is wrong. And when you follow your heart long enough, it takes you to your life purpose. It's easy to listen to your heart intelligence. You have to turn off the thoughts, place your hand on your heart just like Jesus is, and this will tell you the right answer. They don't want us connected to our hearts because we are all an infinite consciousness expressed in different bodies, and love is the unifying force that will bring you. Meat is poison. Fruits and vegetables assimilate with your body, meaning they become one with your cells. Illnesses show up in your field before it manifests in your body. Therefore, every illness is a frequency. And this is what quantum healing is. They scan your electromagnetic field and generate a frequency to heal it. Illnesses exist on a low vibration, so when we consume flesh, we are negatively impacting our spirit, our frequency, to match illnesses. When we raise our frequency through positive emotion, thoughts, and eating electrical food, which does not run off from you when you try to eat it, this raises your frequency, and then you no longer match the frequency of diseases. Meat might have some nutritious value to your physical body, however, it destroys your spirit. The negative energy the animal was feeling when it was being slaughtered is still within the meat. You have been programmed to consume adrenochrome, which is blood-consuming adrenaline, which is in the meat. It's a psychological warfare. They employ neutral terms to cover up the true meaning of the food, because the words become our reality, our perception. They called flesh meat. They called rotten milk cheese. If you want to upgrade your health, think positive, feel positive, charge your body on the earth every single day, listen to positive frequencies, cut out the demonic music, and eat vegetables and fruits raw. And this praying is spellcasting. When something goes wrong in your life and you start praying, you're using words to alchemically change your external world. This is a spell, but you are doing it wrong. When you talk, you're creating torus fields, an electromagnetic field, because magic is magnetism, influencing magnetic fields. And you do this every time you talk. However, when you pray from a place of negativity, from a place of suffering, you are sending negative energy out into the ether, and you will get more negative energy back. Instead, you want to pray from a high vibration and believe you already have something. Every word you say is molding and shaping your mind, and your mind is the root cause of your external world. And when people place their hands together to pray, they're actually balancing the two hemispheres of the brain, because they represent the hemispheres of the brain. If you want to protect your electromagnetic field around your body, this EMF technology necklace will help you. This sign is not the devil horns, it's the moon crescent. Moon is mood, which is emotion. The moon crescent on top of the head symbolizes emotion ruling over our mind, our body, our life. Devil is red because the red is the lowest vibrational color. And this is you when you are operating your life in your animal nature. The devil is the ground animal, the lower self. The bird is the angel, which is the higher self. When we see the man standing on the moon, this represents conquering the emotion, and they no longer govern your life. Your emotions change all the time, and this is symbolized as the moon phases. Money rules your emotions, and this is why money has moon within it. A demon is actually your emotions. Lucifer fell from heaven to earth. Lucifer means star. The 5-pointed star is your 5 senses. When your 5 senses rule over your life, this is when you are becoming Lucifer, Satan, or the devil, which is the inverted pentagram. This is spirit on the top. The inverted one is spirit on the bottom, because your spirit is no longer controlling your body. It's being ruled by the lower mind, by the 5 senses and your emotions. God and the devil exist within yourself. It's a battle between your higher mind and lower mind, between the 5 senses and your mind, your consciousness. Religion has externalized the truth, so they keep you in your animal nature. Stop worshipping God, become the God self, because